but the customer they don't. So I went through that, and after like a day, 2 days of being frustrated, I told myself, you know what, I did everything I could in my power to try to close that deal. There's nothing that I would have done different, and that was good. And I felt very at ease and comfortable. Then we communicated with the customer, and we found now alternative options. And I'm going to find out next week that's going to be, instead of 3 deals, only a 1 year. Right? But we'll definitely the whole concept of being at ease and then being okay with your decision and being okay and understanding that you did everything you could in your power helped me to then go back to the customer and not be desperate and tell them, hey, okay, good, how can we help you with this transformation process to make you more successful?
How were you able to, what information or where did you learn to stay? I mean, you're being pretty stoic there. And I mean, you're very thoughtful. It looks like you know, a lot of people, they go down a rabbit hole and they don't get out. I can only imagine a deal that magnitude and being sideswiped by equity swap, stock swap, and just a deal just crashing.
Yeah.
Like what learnings? Anything specific? Anywhere you learned it, or did you just learn it trial and error? I know that Davidson, he works with a lot of companies breaking into tech. This is a good example of like, dude, like how do you learn this stuff? Do you learn through experience or through stories? Like how were you able to stay the course?
You know, I think it comes with age and maturity. Experience, age and maturity. And haven't done it long enough, and then really trust in yourself. And the maturity doesn't necessarily have to do with age. I've seen, there's so many incredible people in this program at 28 years old.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I would think, man, I wasn't even close to
Right? So true.
So it's just, here's the thing. It's a journey. Never stop investing in yourself and developing yourself, right? If you do, I'm a slow learner.
So I'm hearing you gotta go through the pain. You gotta go through somebody could tell you something, but you gotta experience it yourself.
You gotta experience.
So some stuff
you can't
not learn.
You can't teach this experience. You cannot teach experience. You have to go through it yourself, of course.
It's awesome. I wish that's something that I could have learned earlier in my career. It's like, man, I try to learn everything.
Look, we're here right now. I mean, think about it. We are the top 1% of the sellers in the United States, or even the world. That want to go and get better. That we have succeeded. We have made good money. But still, it's not so much about the money. It's about being the best version of yourself. I feel like I'm doing myself a disservice at least not trying. Right? I don't know what the end result is going to look like. I don't know if I'm going to be like Ian or Jamal, whatever. It doesn't need to be. I need to be the best version of me.
Sometimes when I'm launching my masterminds and I'm coaching my clients, I'm like, man, like this is like not as good as Ian's coaching, and I'm like, dude, like why am I even comparing myself? You know, it's like not productive. But it's like, to your point, yeah, like I'm lucky. I feel like as a 36-year-old, I'm like, man, like I feel very proud of myself that even though I'm relatively young, like I'm really trying to go through, do as much work as I can, right? Be the best father, the best husband, the best like son, and you know, just be there for my community. But yeah, it's not easy, right? Like to go through the darkness, to go through the self-discovery, and some days I'm like, oh, I don't want to have to like wake up super early. But to your point, right, you wake up early because you know that there's more that you can, and ultimately you're probably inspiring a lot of people, right, along the way, I'm guessing. So I'm curious, you know, so obviously generative AI is a big topic now. do you like what are you seeing in terms of the trends and the capabilities of generative AI? Do you think we're just starting? Like, do you think it's gonna forever transform like the way we do business and just life in general?
Yeah, totally. So I think we're just at the beginning,
Yeah.
and I think there's a lot of confusion in the industry. Like what I've seen, like from last year to this year, I went to the Gartner conference with the BI, business analytics, like data analytics, about like 3-4 weeks ago. It is very confusing for the end user to really understand what's real, what's not real. Everybody is talking about generative AI. What happened is that a lot of legacy companies are just putting OpenAI, ChatGPT on top of their product and call it generative AI.
Yeah.
Now, on the flip side is that we, over the next 5 years, is my belief that we are going to see some tremendous development and innovation that we have not seen ever before in our lifetime. And we're really just at the beginning. Now, there's an interview with a guy named Ray Kurzweil. Ray Kurzweil is the chief future officer from Google. He's, I think, in his 70s right now. He had an interview with Joe Rogan. Phenomenal interview just a couple of weeks ago. And Joe Rogan asked him about AGI, artificial general intelligence, when that's going to be available. And AGI is basically the knowledge of all humankind combined in a computer. And he said that it's going to be available in the next 5 years.
Wow.
So that's, just think about it. All human knowledge combined, all humans in the world, is going to be available in terms of computer. That's going to be incredible. So in our lifetime, we're going to experience that. Now the question is, how can you apply that, and what good or bad can you do with it? There's another way right now, what's called the Neuralink, where you actually have
insemination, right?
a computer attached to your spine.
That's Elon Musk, right?
Control
Yeah.
your reflexes, control your neurons and your nerves. Unbelievable innovation and advancement for technology and for medicine. However, you're going to see a lot of negative as well. And you're going to have somebody with AGI capabilities in Neuralink that can do some superhuman things. So I think we're gonna see things that we don't even know. In the interview with Ray Kurzweil and Joe Rogan, he said, Joe Rogan asked Ray Kurzweil, what do you think we can do in the next couple of years? And he said, well, it's kind of like asking a monkey, what would you do if you would be a human? So we don't know what we are capable of in the next couple of years. We have no idea.
Yeah, I mean, that's exciting and somewhat scary. What do you think, like ethics, and do you think there's going to be policies that would prevent us from, I guess, using it for evil, for, not productive reasons?
Yeah, I mean, you see it right now. Like Europe enforced the AI law. I think at this point right now, any kind of law will be restrictive and will diminish the velocity of innovation.
Yeah.
It means we're going to be at a disadvantage. So computer software developed in Europe will be at a disadvantage. Computer software developed in the US because of that limiting AI governance. You're not going to be able to govern. Right now, we just need to go ahead and let it out to everybody and find out what is the best use of AI based on the use case. There's so much good that can be done with AI, not just pharmaceutical, medical, but also from a business perspective. In our lifetime, we will have some kind of Gen AI robot. We are some kind of AI robot in the next couple of years.
Huh.
Where you can say, hey, help me write emails in Siri. Here and look for email sequence. Once every top 3 solutions are based on the profile of my company.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Where are we gonna? What's gonna be our value as sales? The value, in my opinion, is gonna be the human connection, having an action. You have to use AI to our benefit, but we have to be the last mile.
Huh. So what I'm hearing is, in some ways, it's going to transform, but the emotional intelligence is going to be at a premium because all the technical expertise is going to be essentially AI will do better than any human can in terms of the more, technical knowledge, right?
Right. So there was a movie came out like about it was a technology group working for NASA who were called computers. It's a movie based in the 60s. I can't think of the name of the movie right now, but it was basically talking about this group of women who worked for NASA, and they were called computers because they were very good at calculating equations. Then IBM mainframe came out. NASA bought IBM mainframe and rolled it into the room. So the group had basically 2 options. Number 1, they're going to compete against a computer, which they didn't do. Number 2, they picked up the manual and know how to operate it. So then when the IBM technician came in and plugged in the computer, he didn't even know how to operate the computer. So the group of those women came in and knew how to operate the computer. So then they turned from becoming obsolete to becoming completely indispensable. So that's where we are right now. So we have to embrace AI. We have to know how to use AI, but be the last mile.
So obviously there's OpenAI and Gemini are Perplexity are some of the more like common ones. Do you feel like there's going to be like, I guess it's hard to, would you say a good analogy would be AI is to like what it was to when the first internet came out? Is that like, would you say it's like the next coming of technology innovation?
I think AI has a more powerful transformation potential than the internet.
Wow.
No doubt. The internet is just a vehicle. The internet is just an infrastructure.
Uh-huh.
Now we're building use cases on top of it with AI. It's going to be much more powerful.
Interesting.
It's the most impactful transformation that we're going to experience in the past 50 years. Yeah. And from a large language model perspective, we see it right now already with the acquisition by Databricks, by Mosaic ML. Where the directions going, it's going to be smaller, large language model. OpenAI has 6 trillion parameters. It's huge. It's very, very costly to run anything like this. So what happens over the next years is we're going to have smaller, large language models, where it's going to be more business defined. So we take the same concept and then break it down for individual industries and also for companies. So you will see that more and more companies will develop their own small or large language models for their own business use cases.
So I always ask people that are older than me, what advice would you give to your 36-year-old self? Because I'm 36.
Write down your goals.
Okay.
Do do the 12-week year,
Yeah.
execute on the goals, save 20% of your net income, and invest in real estate. It doesn't matter if you're going to sell technology, whatever work you do, your goal should be to be financially independent, not to work for somebody else, make somebody else dream come true.
Yeah.
Once you're financially independent, then you have luxury to do as you think that you like to do. Hey, if you had enough money, what you do right now today, same to your day.
Yeah.
Well, first, that's a very challenging question.
Yeah.
I think we all agree. But I think it all depends on if you can quickly pivot and find how you can help somebody or something in your life, in your process. For us, like, we have salespeople who are helping people. We get something satisfaction, like really helping people solve problems. Right? So that's taken away from me. It's a very challenging question. So I think for me is that situation have to present yourself, and I probably have to sit on it for 48 hours because you want to make an emotional decision. Here, right? Everybody says I win the lottery, I'm leaving, I'm calling the CEO, I'm out of here, right? Everybody talks about that. It's been like right? I think for me, I really want to make an emotional decision and have to be tactical, and I really have to get real with myself to make some situation. Like, what's gonna fill my cup? Family, business venture. But for the time being, if I had to answer today, I really enjoy it. I truly enjoy, like, crazy enough, I enjoy the down, but I enjoy the struggle. I know for you and I, you're an athlete, you're an athlete, college athlete, and I really enjoy, like, the friction. I really enjoy the process. So that's kind of my thought process. What do you think, Dan?
Yeah, I love that. Well, transitioning from making a lot of money in corporate to essentially nothing overnight. So I would say that I am doing what I love. The money is not as good, like not even close, but I do. It's nice, right? Like when my clients call me and they're like, you helped me get the job, you helped me land at Databricks or Snowflake, or, you know, like, thank you so much. Like, you know, I love you. And like, I just appreciate you so much. So it's really nice. But yeah, I mean, I'm making like pennies essentially, right, compared to what I was making before. So, but I think the money will come, right, as I learn to scale. And it's right now doing one-on-one coaching is like definitely not as scalable, right? But the group coaching is finally launched. So it's a process, you know. But yeah, it is challenging because my wife is used to me making a lot more money. So that's been straining on our marriage. But I think I'll figure it out, you know. I mean, having Ian definitely helps for sure. But yeah, it's been challenging the last 17 weeks for sure.
What about you, Daniel? You win the lottery, whatever it is, you just have a briefcase full of money that finances does not have to. It's nothing. You never have to worry about money anymore.
So I wrote down my 3-year goals. So I'm very clear in what I want to accomplish. I can tell you that. I'm going to buy a condo in Mexico, San Jose. It's going to be a 3-bedroom condo.
Huh.
I'm going to be living there for a couple of weeks out of the year, and the rest we're going to lock up 1 room, 1 bathroom, and then rent out 2 bedrooms and 1 bedroom. It's an Airbnb. Okay.
Huh.
We're going to do that until my wife is going to be ready to retire. She's a personal trainer. She has clients that she's been working with for the past 15, 20 years. After that, when the transition, once I'm going to be able to go down to Mexico full time, then she will retire. at that point, I will transition to be a full-time real estate investor.
Oh.
So for me, the tech job at some point, and it just depends on whether the time is going to be 5 years, it's going to be 7 years.
Sounds like that's the vehicle. That's
It's a vehicle.
it's basically what's creating the revenue needed to be able to, you know, help you with your real estate.
Yeah. Create enough income to buy enough apartment complexes and apartment.
And do you enjoy that? What would
Oh, I
you
love it.
Okay. So
I
what do you
love
love?
it. That's my passion. I like to look at property and being able to renovate or hire some contractor, have a vision, what's going to look like, have a contractor do it, and then rent it out or sell it. I love the whole process. I really enjoy it. So I can picture myself doing it for a long time. Retirement, I don't think I will ever retire. Even if I have $1 million or $10 million right now, it's not going to, but it's emotion state. So many people I know, once they're retired, do nothing to fall apart. So I will always do something. The something for me is the next career in my life is going to be real estate. I already started it. I've been doing the journey for the past about 5 years. Guys, books. So that's something by itself. Go to the seminars, get introduced to other like-minded real estate investors, form a group of investors, form properties together, understand investment strategies from land investment to real estate to multifamily, rental. There's so many load investors there. A multitude of different areas in real estate for successful. It's very fascinating. Because I will never be still.
Sounds like you're pretty unbalanced.
Yeah.
I love what you think. That's awesome. You're not gonna get caught off guard, right? It's pretty well mapped out.
Yeah. I know exactly where. Son of Silicon. I know the area where I'm going to go.
Frank Perkins talks about it.
Yes, that was amazing.
So Frank Perkins, Davidson, he used to work at Salesforce for 10, 15 years. He's up there with like Ian.
Okay.
Leadership and, you know, just crushing it at Salesforce.
Yeah.
Talking about like vision, like you need to go down, like you need to have it down to the detail.
Yeah.
Hey, this is the house I want. This is the cabinet, this is the color I want. This is what I want the house. This is what my walls are gonna look like. You need to be detailed.
Yeah.
And what that does, just as similar to Marcus Chan, it creates a habit from being detailed all across your life. Being intentional with how you eat, every day, how you goal set. Right? So if you think that if I'm going down to like, yes, that's where I want to live, the cabinets and the tile, I'm going that detail that I'm just gonna put vacation. It's like, no, there's gonna be layers to it. So there's a pattern to that.
Yeah.
Resonate really well with me. So I'm sure it did with you as well, right?
That, I think Allison,
Yeah, Elsie, yeah.
she did she said that you create the reality twice. Once in mind and once in reality. I thought it was very powerful. I never thought about it. Really, you are kind of like Napoleon Hill. You are what you think you are. So that means your reality is first created in your mind. So first you have to create in your mind. That means you have to speak out what you want in terms of current color, where you want to live. And once you have that, then your subconscious, which is like 95% of the brain, will try to create that reality and make it come true. And the how is unknown to you at that point. You just have to know what you want, and then the subconscious mind will do the rest. That was really powerful to get to the manifestation. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm very detail. It's interesting because like in certain aspects of my life, I'm super detailed, right? Like I've been on. I have planned out the 100 countries I want to visit, which restaurants, which hotels I'm staying at, how much it costs. Like there's certain aspects of my life super detailed. My mastermind, my 52 workshops, who I'm having, which But there's certain aspects of my life that's like super not detailed, like around money. And that's where, and clearly that's why I'm struggling, because I don't put the same amount of attention to that as I do experiences and like friendships and like the podcast or YouTube, where I'm studying 3 hours every day how to become a better YouTuber. So it's just interesting, if I put the same level of attention to tackling my debt, I probably would make more of a dent in it, most likely.
Right. Well, it's one thing about frame purpose I really liked about this is priority. The process where you're going to figure out what the next priority is for the next 12 weeks. I really like that a lot. Where you say, okay, what's my most important thing I want to get accomplished? Health, fitness, finance, relationship, and that's really, you really can only focus on one thing for the next 12 weeks. And I really like the concept. You have to completely double down and focus on what you're going to accomplish. And that's why the 12 week is so powerful. If you write it down, you will achieve it. I did it for the first quarter this year, and I was so amazed at what I set out I wanted to do, and it seemed almost impossible at the beginning of the quarter. I achieved it.
So how did you both discover Frank Perkins? Is he like a pretty well-known influencer? Is that how?
Well, Ian brought him in.
I missed it
Ian
then.
brought him into the mastermind as one of the guest speakers.
Oh, okay. Was this online or in person?
It was in person in Hermosa Beach.
Oh, okay. It was 6 months ago?
Correct, yeah.
Oh, that's so cool. Okay. So did you guys, what'd you guys think about this compared to or do you think this was better than the Hermosa one? Or is it different?
Well, I want to answer that. Since this is the third, the lift from nothing to the first is something that I don't think we can ever see. It's going to be an incremental benefit, right? Because some of the things that Ian said is repetitive.
Yeah.
But it was so powerful here for the first time.
Yeah.
So, no, there's no comparison to Hermosa. Hermosa was almost life-changing.
Wow.
This is really good, and the quality of speakers is phenomenal. And you're definitely going to have some things to take away, but nothing like the first one.
Wow.
What you do.
Yeah, I just think they're just so different.
Oh, okay.
I think it's kind of like reading a book.
Huh.
Right? So you read a book, going back to like Napoleon Hill, right? Any Napoleon Hill bill, or whatever book you might read, it's like, what are your thoughts? What are you currently going through when you watch that book, when you read that book, when you go through that treaty, and how it resonates with you at that given time? Where are you at with life? Where are you at with your thought process there? So
Yeah.
I just think it's so. When you're doing these at a 6 month clip, like, there's a lot that changes.
Yeah.
You're in different roles, you're in different, place in your life, financially, emotionally. So I think they're just so individual to me, right? And a lot of times it's like learning is a skill. You cannot see the layers or where they're trying to go with things.
Yeah.
You're not able to interpret it correctly, or you're not able to. Maybe you don't follow up on the conversation. I didn't get that, right? Can we dig a little bit deeper? So, for me, I try to read books every couple of years, the same ones, because it's just so different. So that's my take on it there. So.
Do you think it would be better if we have it every 3 months in Mastermind?
Honestly, I think for in my case, I think less is more. Like 3 months, it's pretty quick. Like think about your quarter. We're all flying or driving and spending weekends away from our family. I think for me it'll be a little much.
Oh yeah.
I think you don't know what you don't know. right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I agree. I think this is a good time. 6 months is good,
Mm.
but I think we should be more active amongst each other.
Yeah, I agree.
Throughout the 6 months, I think we're not doing enough. In terms
Right.
of the community. I'm part of the pod in Texas.
yeah.
And I feel we can do more. We can do more as a pod, and we can do more as a community. I have not seen any other communication outside of the local pods. Beyond the Slack. The Slack is something fairly new right now as well, which is great. But I think we should take it upon us as an action item to find out what are things that we can do as a community that would help us make it more valuable between the 6 months.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know what it is. Maybe it could be, hey, let's get together like in Texas, for a drink. And I'm meeting like Mike Brown. He's in Dallas. I'm in Dallas. We hang out for breakfast, something like that, or have another maybe virtual happy hour with everybody, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. We have to talk to Isaac because Isaac's fairly new as well. Maybe that's something he can help organize.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I definitely think, that's one of the reasons why I started my own mastermind, because I've attended, I spent $150,000 attending all these masterminds, all these programs all over the world, and I was like, but there wasn't any that I thought was I'd like certain bits and pieces about each of them, but I didn't think there was a comprehensive one that was the best. So I'm like, let me go out and try to create that.
Which one? If you can rank them, which one?
They're all so different. That's why when I asked that question, I was like, okay, maybe that was a dumb question, but I think Tony Robbins is really good for real estate. A lot of real estate people are in the Tony Robbins community.
Did you go to UBW or?
I did the whole.
Did you date for Destiny?
Yeah, that was my favorite out of all.
I did that too.
Yeah, that was a really good one.
Very intense.
If I was to stack rank, I would say Date with Destiny probably is my favorite event that I've ever done.
That was amazing.
Yeah.
When did you do it?
I did it 2 years ago. Yeah, I did the virtual one as well. Yeah, but it was still good. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. Landmark, I would say, was pretty transformative for me. I don't know if you guys have heard of Landmark.
What's that?
It's oh man, it's hard to describe. The way I describe it is it's 500 hours of therapy into a 3-day back-to-back program for 12 hours, but it's very intense and very heavy, very a lot. It's a lot that you grapple with, but afterwards you're just you walk out a completely different person.
Really?
Yeah.
American. What about you, David?
Yeah. What about you? Or for me?
No, is he on the airport?
Oh no! I'm going with him. Yeah.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Well, no, this is great, man. Thanks for doing that. Oh wait, are we there? No.
Yeah, we're there.
Okay.
The next one, I think.
Yeah, no, this was a good conversation. Thank you for your perspective. Yeah, I have no doubt you'll reach all your real estate goals because it sounds like whatever you put your mind to something, you accomplish it, right? That's true dedication.
It's a struggle every day. It's a struggle every day.
Yeah,
but
I hear you.
Look, it's what you learn from this, that the mind is very powerful, and I like what Mike mentioned about the reptilian brain versus I don't know, maybe it's a different terminal, maybe the next terminal, it's terminal 2. That you have the same thing with Tony Robbins. Your mind has a power to reprogram yourself. You're running on an old operating system.
Yeah.
Right? And we have the power to reprogram ourselves, and that's what we're trying to do. And it's a journey. It's never ending. It's never. And the success/income is a byproduct of the journey. If you do it right.
Yeah.
It's really a state of mind. It's how you feel about yourself every morning when you wake up. When I go for a walk every morning, one of the first things I do, I tell the universe, God, whatever, how grateful I am. I walk my dogs for 2-3 miles for like anywhere from 30-45 minutes every morning. That's the first thing after my meditation and deep breathing. What I do is how grateful. Thank you so much for having my wife in my life. That's the most important person. Having a good job, right? And then I might go down and I say it out loud. And that's how I start the day. And then, man, that's you put yourself in that state of mind and energy. And nothing can go wrong. You just
It's beautiful. That's beautiful.
thanks.
All right.
I'll see you, man.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
We'll
Good
connect
to, man.
soon.
Take care.
Yeah. Oh, don't forget the mic. Thanks. Thank you.
All right. How much further for you to drive?
30, 45 minutes.
Oh, really? That's
Yeah.
And do you go to LAX?
So I'm staying at my buddy's place, my best friend's place,
Oh, nice.
who lives like 15, 20 minutes from where he lives.
Nice.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
Beautiful. This is a nice car.
Yeah.
2022 or what?
It's like a couple months ago.
Oh, really?
Super new.
Oh,
Wow.
This car was not cheap. When you told me, I was like, damn, that's a lot. Oh, I guess I'll switch to go up. Ooh. Oh, man. Oh. No.
Oh, yeah.
Look at this guy. Word.